Hi, this is Natalie of the Vintage Cross Stitch Niche, bringing you another video. I have a bunch of stuff to show you. I have a finish, I have a new magazine, I have a new book. Wow. So let's begin. First off, I'm going to tell everyone that relaxation works. And that, I know I hesitated because I'm like, how do I say this? Relaxation works. I'm going to share with you that I saw the cardiologist last week. Not only was my blood pressure normal, which it had been on the high side before, an echocardiogram showed improvement. Overall, everything was better. And what did I do over the past year? Because I hadn't seen him in about a year. I took a new job that was much more doable, and I got my stress level down. So it definitely works. I just wanted to share that. Cross stitch, especially if you find it calming and relaxing, may be good for your overall health. So where do I begin? Let's show you the finish I have. Blackbird Designs, salute to Abigail. Salute to Abigail, Blackbird Designs. This is Ornament mink, but it's 28 count. The called for is 36 count. And these are Victorian motto sampler threads. I'm not going to give you all the names because they're not available individually, but they're from the Americana collection, which is still available. Not going to show you the chart because I sold the chart along with another piece, a matching piece of linen. It was actually the other half of a fat quarter. So I sold it with 1/8 of this exact piece of linen and the rest of the threads, which were plenty to finish another one. So I was very excited. This is going to be made into a pillow very much in the style of this. So I'm not doing this myself. I'm going to bring this to the cross stitch cupboard and have them do it. Some sort of thick rickrack, and I have to find the right fabric, and I think it's going to look great. Okay, that's my finish. What am I working on? Well, I started another sampler that I'm in love with. I showed you this before. It's the Scarlet Letters Marianne Hutton's sampler. Beautiful, right? I got the called for colors, except for this ecru color, which is just Belsois oatmeal scone, because they were out of it in the Versois. And here's what I've done so far. This fabric is R&R, I now forget, I think it's called Flagstone. I'm not 100% sure, but it's a grayish color. It's got a little bit of variegation to it. I am not 100% sure that I like this fabric, but I've already gotten this far, and I think once it's done, it's going to look nice. Once it's all done and it's framed, it's going to look just fine. Nothing wrong with the fabric. It's just sort of blah. But the actual photo sort of looks grayish to me. So I think this will be fine. My other option is to restart it. About that, I'm back. Anyway, the fabric, my other option is to restart it. I've already done quite a bit of this, and I think once it's finished, it's almost a winter gray. That's what I'm thinking. It's wintry, so I think it'll look fine once done. If you notice, I have two little rings of, I kept these intact, and I'm taking pieces off, and then the pieces I'm actually working with, I put them on these pretty little thread keeps that I made from vintage cards. So that's one thing I'm working on. And the second thing I'm actively working on, which hopefully shouldn't take too long, is one of my unicorn charts, which is God Bless Us Everyone. And this is by the Primitive Needle. I'm not doing it in called for, I'm just doing it in stuff from my stash. So just to show you the colors, all prim colors, although saturated, but prim colors. And this is the fabric. I hand dyed this myself. This is dyed with cinnamon and coffee. That's it. Probably not dark enough, but this is going to look good on it. It's going to look beautiful when finished. I hope you can see it close up. I don't think you can see the top part. Just undo that a little. It's looking great, huh? I think it's going to look real pretty. I want to finish this. It's about almost halfway done, and I only worked on it 2 days, so I think I can finish this so I can get back to my sampler. If anybody likes the way it came out, I have the other piece of fabric. So that is actually an 1/8 cut in half, so it's a 1/16, I guess, a half of an 1/8. I think it's an 1/8. I don't know. I have another piece of fabric, whatever it is. What are the colors I'm doing this in? Raven is the black. I don't know if you've ever seen Raven. Raven is Gast, Gentle Arts Raven, is a greenish black. I don't know if you can tell just by looking. See? It's a greenish black. And the red, again, I took these out of my stash. The red is Merlot. The yellow is mustard seed. The orangey color is mulberry. The gray is a limited edition gray. Green is collards. The whitish is grits, and the skin color is roasted marshmallow. I think they're all not that far off from the original, so once again, colors. And mine. New. I have a pile of stuff here to show you. I know it's a box. That's good. That's also coming. I have some new charts to show you. One of which I have 2 of. So, Ann Sims very pretty, right? Ann Sims is done on mink. This does not look like mink because, as you can see, I showed you mink today. It's charted for DMC and for silk. And I had another one, and look what happened. Actually, these were ordered, I ordered two by accident, but it's amazing that one came like this. And they look like completely different charts, so I guess they were made at different times. So this came a little, be careful when you wrap stuff. This almost looks like it got wet. I'm gonna probably do one chart as part of a giveaway. Probably the nicer copy. I'd hate to give away a messed up copy. But that's new to me. It's not a new chart, but it's new to me. I showed you Joy Noel. Something else I really want to start. I have matched up the flosses for it. And I found this linen that I have no idea what it is. It is a sort of a thick, homespunny looking linen. I'm pretty sure it's even weave. We'll find out soon enough when we try to stitch on it and see what it looks like. But I think it's going to look amazingly beautiful. So this is a, like I said, an unknown brand of linen. It looks like a tea towel or a kitchen towel. And that's what this looks like. I think it's going to be perfect. For your information, the colors are, once again, this Victorian Motto Sampler Shop, one of the Americana Reds. This is a really rich one. Let Freedom Wave. Then I've got Hollyberry, and a limited edition, and a Blue Spruce. So, can't wait to start this because it's so darling. What it's initially done on is Weigart Platinum 28 count. Sort of nice, beautiful. And it uses Hollyberry, which I have here, Bayberry, Otter Creek, and Buckeye Scarlet, but I just picked what I had. It's not a very large project, so I wanted to use some that I had, and I actually love this color combination with the fabric. Okay. Let me go to this. I think I showed you this. The Abbey Road Designs Primitive Christmas Pillow. And I found a piece of absolutely perfect linen for it from my stash. The called for linen is 32 count Picture This Plus Brash. Okay. But, and I don't have all the called for threads, I have some of them, because a lot of these were back ordered. So I have some of the called for and some of the substitute threads. The red is, okay. And the fabric is Hare's House by Ship's Manor. Have you seen anything more perfect? Look how beautiful that's going to be. And here's the photograph you want to see, which is actually a pretty nice photo. It's perfect. I love hitting it out of the ballpark. I just love when you find a linen that says beauty. Look at the color, how rich it is. So nice. I think it shows up, at least what I see, it shows up a little bit lighter in the video than it actually is. It's on the darker side. Beautiful, beautiful linen. I've never stitched on Ship's Manor linen, so we'll see how that goes. Let's go back to the charts. Not Forgotten Farm, The Giving Sisters. This was one of those sale clearance charts that I ordered just to order it. Pretty neat. Condon, the darning sampler. This one is awesome. There's something about it I just love. Okay. And I have 3 Prairie Moon charts that are they're just old discontinued charts, and they're little ornament type charts. That guy. Little looks like the Scream. That guy. These guys. They didn't come as kits, they're just charts, but I got them together in a bundle. Kind of neat, huh? Is there anything else in here? Or, nope. Nothing else in here. Let's see what else we got. I've already shown you at one point. Don't know why it's here. Then this is an amazing sampler kit that I ordered from the e-sampler. It's called EGS Darning Sampler. Pretty, huh? Interesting. And it comes with silk and this beautiful color of tea dye like linen. It's really a pretty color. I don't know what kind of linen it is, but it's lovely. This is such an interesting sampler to me. It says for intermediate to advanced stitchers. Why does it say that? Is this use specialty stitches? Cross stitch, eyelet, satin stitch, and a darning stitch. My God, this is, look at the size of this chart. This is all one big piece of paper. Gonna be hard to photocopy to make any sort of working copy. I don't usually do that anyway, and I throw it out after using right away. But I think this is really cool. Like, super cool. And then a little bit of linen, not too much. I like the vintage beeswax in 28 count so much, or 32 or 28, that I ordered it in 36 count, and I ordered a huge piece of it. There's something about this color that I'm enamored with. R&R vintage beeswax, 36 count. Just beautiful. I can think of so many things that would work well on this. In retrospect, the Christmas sampler might have looked really good on this. But this is exciting linen. I'm so happy to find it in 36 count. This is a nice big piece of Weeks Dye Works straw. Some of the beautiful, beautiful linen. This is a giganto piece. I mean, I don't even know how big it was. It wasn't very expensive for what it was. I think it's a full yard. Yep, it's a full yard. Straw. Super neutral linen. And I found 3 E-Designs linen. I ordered these from overseas and spent a ridiculous amount of money in postage, so I'm not going to do that again. But the thing with these are they're 36 count E-Designs linen. This one is just called vintage linen, and they're magnificent and they're beautiful. This is really, truly some of the nicest linen I've ever seen. The other one's called Smoke. I just love He Designs linen. I've sold some. Most of it, of what I have, was all 32 count, but now I have 36. And this one's called Hot Coffee. Beautiful stuff. But like I said, the shipping charges on this were insane, and it took almost 2 months to get. That was not a good experience. The actual price of the linen was pretty good, but that was fun. I always look on my table, scan, what do I need to show you? Oh, let's see. I have the brand new Craftways book, A Cross Stitch Christmas, which I showed on my Facebook page. It also came with this little Hoops for the Holidays freebie. I have the brand new Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher, the summer, which I'm going to show you. And I have just Cross Stitch, the summer edition. This is actually August. So we'll show you all three. Let's start with the Just Cross Stitch. All right. This is called Shoreline. It's quite beautiful, isn't it? And Shoreline is by Sharon Pope. This one's called Marian Mermaid, and this one is by Nikki's Creations. Okay. So far so good. Real pretty, huh? Beach Blanket Pillow Topper by Kathleen Burley. She seems to be in a lot of these publications. That's awful. That's nice. It's almost like a little piece of sampler of sorts. Sand and Surf Needle Set by Kim Beamish. Very pretty. Enjoy Summer by Evdokia Nikolaeva Panuchka. That's quite cute as well. Okay, they have the flowers of the month. Let's see. And then we have Kites in the Wind by Doreen Jones. And we have Sunflower by Ronan and Orie. And then we have Bluebirds and Sunshine by Elizabeth Spurlock. I like this one. I had it folded over. Isn't that pretty? The colors are real pretty. Just beautiful. That one I really liked. This is Summer Heat Guy by Nikki Ewing. It's got the Airstream in it. Something about, there's a sampler sleuth. This one was done by Deborah Fasano of Historic Handworks. And this sampler is called Cora Wing. Oh, here's a much better picture. Then they have the Christmas ornament preview. This one is Hardanger Love by Roz, What Nemo. Okay. We've got Wish Upon a Star by Karen Kluba. We've got Chris Minty by Charlotte DeVere. I think this one is super cool. That mint. That is really super cool. And a quickie. Got some sort of netting over it, I guess, that she... This one is called Bucket of Snowballs by Ronnie Fritter. That's funky. Next one is called Frosty by Erin Houston. Do you like his big tall hat? I think that's kind of neat. Puppy's First Christmas by Chrissy Callahan. Village de Noël by Nicoletta Ferruto of Nikki's Creations. I could look at that and just know it's hers. That is her Vichy linen. Signature linen. Bells by Crafty Cat. Next is Gingerbread Girl by Ronan Orie. Then they have a Stampler of the Month type thing called Butterflies and Bees, and this is what they're up to here. This one doesn't quite, it's by Julia Lucas. It's not quite my style, but it is very pretty. This one is America, America by Ursula Michaels. I do like this one a lot. That's really pretty. Then they've got, I mean, there's a lot of nice stuff in here. Star Spangled Sheep by Deanna Carter of Cherry Hill Stitchery, and this one is on the same box that I have. This is on a Lone Elm Lane box. It blew me away that they had a Lone Elm Lane box in here. Just to show you my box, I'm just going to take the cover off. This is my box. I don't know what size box. I have a big one. Okay. Blue Ribbon Pie Maker. This is real nice. This is a by Franny River on a towel. Franny Ritter. I love those two cross-stitch towels. I have a bunch of blank ones. I made a whole bunch for my brother. My brother and my sister-in-law, with monograms on them. They loved them. And that's about it. So this is quite a nice edition of this cross-stitch. We have lots of goodies today, huh? Next we have Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. This all came within a week of each other, actually. I'm only going to show you the cross-stitch, not the punch needle. This is by Cecilia Turner of Heart and Hand, called Summer Catch Etching. 3 fish that look like pelagic fish, like maybe tuna, or bonita. This is Kindness Matters by Theresa Miller. Theresa's Primitive Treasures. If you note the sifter frame, she sells those on her in her Etsy shop. They're lovely. I recently ordered my my horn books from her. Wooden, whatever you're going to call them, wooden cutting board type things to mount. This is Tomato Time Needlework by Sub Rosa Design. Very lovely. Tomatoes seem to be in style this year. a number of tomato things I've seen finished beautifully into this needlebook. And what fabric she uses, it doesn't say. Go figure. Oh no, it does. Edinburgh Vintage Country Mocha. This is Patriotic ABC by Barbra Anna. Quite nice. I like the way she finished it in the hoop. This is just done on natural linen. There's nothing wrong with natural linen. I actually really like natural linen. This is by Vanna Pfeiffer, the Twisted Stitcher, called a Stitcher's Mat. And this is like a mat that goes on your table and hangs over the side. And she gives these elaborate instructions, pages and pages of full color instructions how to make this beautiful thing. I hope Vanna continues to publish her section in Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. She's taken a break from stitching for a while. Just to show you what it looks like all flat. But these are quite time consuming to do this, I'm sure. Ah, here's the picture I was looking for. Your finished product. Your stitching mat goes on a table and holds all your stuff. That's just lovely. It's beautiful. I wish I was that talented with sewing. This is by Priscilla and Chelsea of Stitching with Housewives. They like a lot of the black Jobelan. I've seen some of their designs. And this is by Lindy Stitches, Eagle Manor. I think it's in a tart cupcake kind of thing. What is it done in? It looks like a little tart holder. It says a quiche pan. 4-inch quiche pan with removable bottom by Laxini's World. My thought is it's a real little mini quiche pan. This is a punch needle, but I have to show it to you. It's done by Leslie Davis. She's on our page. She's active on our page. She is always posting something. The reason I'm showing it to you is the finishing. Look at that. It's unbelievable. The beautiful antique crocheted or lace. I had to show you that. That's unbelievable. You could not, it says antique doily or other finishing piece. It's made to go on a doily. You couldn't make it look like this. It's funny, the one that she had here is imperfect, which gives it a lot of charm. There's a whole thing in here on StitchCon. I'm going to make a comment about StitchCon in a minute. This is by Rebecca Noland. This is called My Summer House. And what I love about this is the huge flag that's longer than the house. From Rebecca Noland, another person I talked to. And this is Anchoring in Baltimore by Twin Peaks Primitives. That's very pretty with the whales. And I think that's it. There's a lot more ads in here from people. Even Kitten Stitcher's got a full page ad, a lot of ads. There's a whole thing on with pictures and StitchCon, and you know, I'm not a big time Flosstuber. I don't have 20,000 followers. But the followers I do have are very loyal and nice and always say nice things, so I'm happy about that. But to go to StitchCon, I mean, it means you got to take off time from work And I only have so much time, and I have to give it to my husband and kids. So between the two of us, we have 5 kids. My husband likes to go fishing and on the weekends off. And besides, who would I go with? You know, I'd have to recruit bags, one of my stitching friends, to say, I am not going myself and having nowhere to sit or nobody to sit with. So I am a very shy person when it comes to going to a room full of people that I don't know. And not to say that stitchers are bad people or anything, but I have had my experience with stitchers that are not as down to earth as you might think. If you're a person who makes a Flosstube video and you get, I don't know, 1,000 comments, I think it can go to your head, and all of a sudden you think you're more important than you are. You know, this is a hobby. We're not movie stars. I'm certainly not, you know, but I say to myself, would I really want to go? And everybody is like celebrating, you know, Flosstube there. And, oh, I don't know. I'm not saying anybody's like that. I'm just saying my experience, there is some arrogance in, and clickiness in the stitching world. But that is like it is in every world. So enough said about that before I get myself in trouble. Hoops for the, this is the Craftways. This is Hoops for the Holidays. This is their bonus, quote unquote. Not much of a bonus, it's just a little pamphlet, but I'll show it to you. Okay. And there's more inside. There's actually some real cute stuff. I thought this was just darling. Little ornament there. Very pretty. And the other one, oh, this one I really liked. This Christmas Wishes ornament. I thought that was real pretty. And of course they have these ornaments. So just a little supplement. I'm going to keep it inside. A word about price. I had posted this on my cross-stitch page. And the people were like, where do you get this? And I told everybody to go to Hirschner's. It wasn't actually on the Hirschner's website yet. I'm on a list where I wanted to save this packaging to show you. So I get this package, Craftways books. That's what it looks like. It's real pretty. I mean, and you can return it if you want in the same packaging, but it's a free preview with free gift. I'm on there, and I get it every year, and what happens if I don't like it, I send it back. I have yet to send it back, but my price, including the shipping, is $27 because I'm on this yearly thing. If you go buy it right now, they will quote you $40. My feeling is once they put it on their website, the price might be a little bit lower because I think people don't want to spend $40 for this. With that said, let's go through it. There's some real nice stuff in here. I love this one. This is called, I don't know what it's called, Merry Christmas. It's by Vinnie Tan, a Malaysian designer. Well, I often wonder, does she celebrate Christmas? She has to. She must, given how beautiful that is. Very retro looking, almost like a 1950s or 60s Christmas card. I really love that. And this one is, this is the section called Celebrating Santa. I'm not going to tell you everybody who does this because you have to sort of look. And I don't, you know, but anyway, this is Barbra Campana. These are some pretty bookmarks. Really cute. I like those bookmarks. This is by Becky Spencer. Just a very elaborate, well, I don't know about elaborate, but a lot of solid stitching here for Oh my goodness, a Christmas stocking. This is by Barbra Ann, I'm sorry. The artwork is by Tom Wood, adapted by Barbra Ann. This does not look like stuff Barbra Ann usually does. It's got a lot of shading and it's got a lot of back stitching. It's magnificent though. These are little old world Santas by Cecilia Turner. I think they're great. You see that? Aren't they great? Then we've got this Santa and Mrs. are out for a date night at the Snow Globe on a skating rink by Lee Fisher. It's funny, isn't it? I love the fabric they did it on, that dark blue. Looks like it's at night. All right. Then we've got this thing by Cheryl McKinnon. I don't know what it's called, but it's a Very Merry Christmas. Quite a lot of people like this one. Quite a bit of purple in it. Not your usual Christmas colors. This one is another Merry Christmas. Some more. This is Ugly Sweater Ornaments. How cool. And here's a bear wearing an ugly sweater. This I thought was quite nice. This one is by Barbara Cessnock. Once again, there's no Santa there. It's just the reindeer is pulling a sleigh full of presents, and it's very purple in color, not traditional Christmas colors. It's great. It's great. This little bird, once again, same thing. A lot of purple. Like the way they finished that with the fuzzy stuff around it. This is Fa La 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 by Kathleen Burley. Sort of retro looking. Home for Christmas by Emma Condon. This is a play on, you know how you see the station wagon, sort of the red station wagon with the Christmas tree on top. This is looking at the car, a different angle, looking at the front of it, and there's no Christmas tree, there's just presents and a tree. I thought that was quite clever. All right, so next is your Olive and Merlot, which are, I guess, colors. This is by Fabi Riley. Done on white Aida, it doesn't really look like much, but done on beautiful hand-dyed fabric, I'm sure it would be magnificent. This one's by Elizabeth Spurlock, Mother and Child. Can you see it? It's quite beautiful. Once again, not for the faint of heart. A lot of solid stitching and shading and color changes, but beautiful. These are 3D Christmas trees. I think they're great. These are the trio of Festive Felines by Leslie Warren. This is solid stitching, the whole thing, including the stuff around the middle. Very, very funny, actually. It's Christmas carols. Perfect carols. These are by Julia Lucas, some birds. Let's see if I can show them to you. Okay, next. Don't worry, we're almost done. This is a bunch of pastels. This is quite magnificent. Lee Fisher's Queen of the North. That's really magnificent for a child. Look at that. I mean, it reminds me of Frozen. It's truly a beautiful piece. Just unreal. I mean, the snow dripping. These are some just Merry Christmas. By Franny Ritter and Emma Condon. Okay. These pages are sticking. This Merry Christmas by Doreen Jones. These are by somebody named Diane Machine. That's what I like these too. It's a bunny for Christmas. I find it interesting that they have bunnies. I Saw Three Ships by Eric Shipley. And this is another one by Kathleen Burley. With 3 lifetimes, you'd never be able to do all the stitching that's out there. There's so much. It's just beautiful stuff. This is called Silent Night by Barbra Cessnock. It's magnificent. My only problem with it is there's a lot of back stitching, and I do not like back stitching. I'll do it if I need to, but I just don't like the look of it. And that's my personal preference. There's a lot going on here. It's a beautiful nativity. It's done on brown fabric. There's nothing, it's beautiful. This Cornu is quite nice by Jacob Graff. Once again in a warm colors, not typical Christmas colors, but warm, Scandinavian looking. This is by Alyssa Westtuck. It's like a wine and cheese melange. Right. And this is Merry and Bright by Green Ginger. I would normally love this kind of thing, but again, it has a tremendous amount of back stitching. It's just not for me, but it's so cool looking. It's beautiful. And then you've got this piece on earth. Almost looks Victorian, like a Victorian motto kind of thing. Looks like they did it on a little table mat of some sort. Beautiful. And then we've got, this is a Christmas card. I'm not sure who does this, but it doesn't matter here. Christmas card. Are we done? Nope. We've got the No Snow Christmas for Santa in Florida. Santa at the beach. Outfit's too hot. This is Merry Christmas. It's kind of weird. It's like a hollow looking snowman of some sort. But the finishing's beautiful, and it's really weird. It's very strange. It's got fish in it. It's a snowman, but it's almost underwater. Look, it's got fish in the bottom of the snowman. I looked at this and said, what the heck is going on here? It's so weird. It's nice. I like it. Sun, surf, and turf. Some more. These are all Floridian, Miami-ish things. This is Santa Claus. Super cool. This one I would do. That is just great. Some bells with flipper. I think that's it for what I'm showing you. I tried to rush through that. I knew it was too much. People want me to read to them again. We need stuff today that's positive. Nothing too bad. I'm going to read to you. I'm going to read to you just briefly. Hold on, I'm going to go get something. I'm back. So this is a thrift store find from a few years back. It's a Christmas Carol. I bought it because it's got nice little graphics. And to tell you the truth, Weekly Reader reminded me of my childhood, because if anybody is born in the 60s, 70s, you remember bringing a quarter to school for Weekly Reader. I never did get the quarter, but my mom was into not spending the money, but going to the library and taking it out. And I guess she was right. It's a simplified version, and it's filled with illustrations. I think this is worth reading, just to show you some of the illustrations. Let's start from the beginning, perhaps. Well, number 1, chapter 1, Ebenezer Scrooge. Jacob Marley was dead. Everyone knew that. There was no doubt about that. All the official papers were properly signed by witnesses to make them legal. The clergyman signed the papers, the city clerk signed them, and the undertaker signed them. Even Ebenezer Scrooge signed them, and everybody knew that anything Scrooge signed had to be perfectly legal. Yes, Marley was dead as a doornail. Did Scrooge know he was dead? Of course he did. How could he not know? After all, Scrooge and Marley had been in business partners for many years. Besides, Scrooge was the executor of Marley's estate, and as decreed in his will. Scrooge was Marley's only friend, his only mourner, the only beneficiary of his estate. Still, Scrooge was an excellent businessman, and even on the day of Marley's death, he took advantage of the sad event by offering his customers special bargains. Yes, Scrooge knew without a doubt that Marley was dead, but for some reason, which no one knew, he never painted old Marley's name out of the sign that stood above their warehouse door. It still read Scrooge and Marley. But Scrooge was a tight-fisted old man, squeezing every penny out of the bargain, showing no mercy to those who owed him money, and wrenching every minute of work out of his employees. Yes, he was a cold, solitary old man, cold inside and cold outside. His cold heart froze every feature about him, his pointed nose, his shriveled cheeks, his red eyes, his thin blue lips, his wiry chin, and his harsh, grating voice. He even kept everything around him cold. His office was as cold as ice and never felt the slightest warmth, not even at Christmas. But neither heat nor cold bothered Scrooge, neither did people. Nobody ever smiled at him in the streets. Nobody ever asked, "My dear Scrooge, how are you?" Nobody ever offered, "Why don't you visit us?" No beggars came up to him to plead for a trifle. No children ever asked him what time it was. No man or woman ever came up to him to ask directions. Even blind men's dogs led their masters off into doorways and up side streets when they saw Scrooge coming. And did Scrooge care? No. He actually liked this. He went through life warning all people to keep away from him. That's chapter 1. It's obviously abbreviated. So we're painting. I'm going to read every chapter. There's not today, but I think there's about 8 chapters, so we can get through this. I have to remember, put a little card somewhere. So we're going through how Scrooge was cold, how his friend died, and Scrooge was the only one that mourned him, and he really didn't even mourn him, but he did keep his name up on the door, which is always an interesting thing. And nobody ever said hello to him. So it's so timeless. Aren't there people like this? Maybe the homeless guy on the corner, that people walk the other way. I'm guilty of that, you know. Problem with the homeless people is that, you know, they tend to ask you for money here and use money for bad things often. But, you know, when I read this, I say I got to be cognizant of doing random acts of kindness, maybe saying hello to somebody that you normally wouldn't or don't like. How about being nice to somebody you don't like? How about tolerating other people's views, maybe? You know, maybe you see something somebody writes and not saying anything, or understanding that they have a point of view, that you can't possibly understand what it's like to be them or think like them. I am a flawed human, as is everyone, and I don't follow my advice often. Sometimes I'll say things I don't mean, of course, like everyone else. But right now I'm being very cognizant of saying there are two sides to every story and there's two views. And if you think that you know what it's like to be in someone else's shoes, that you know what it's like to live their life, you can't. So everybody's experiences shape what they feel, what they see, and we're in a world that's very polarized right now. With that said, we're going to continue reading A Christmas Carol, and A Christmas Carol has a nice ending, as you all know the ending. So I went back to reading, and I picked A Christmas Carol, my favorite book, because I think there's lessons to be learned from it, and I love reading it. One quick thing, Tiny Tim said, "God bless us, everyone." He didn't say God bless us. He didn't say God bless everyone. He said God bless us, everyone. So he was talking about us and them. Let's just say God bless us, everyone. Have a great week, and please find us on the Vintage Cross Stitch Niche at Facebook. Join the group. If you like the videos, please subscribe. The more subscribers I get, the more encouragement I get to do these videos. A thumbs up is always nice. Makes me think somebody is watching and liking. If you give me a thumbs down, then well, you're a mean person, and what can I say? So I never give thumbs down. If I don't like it, I just don't watch it. But comments, questions, I'm always open. You can find me on Facebook. Natalie Willis is actually Nat Willis, because Nat's my nickname. And I hope everybody has a wonderful week. From my home to yours, keep stitching.